And this is like a hot topic on social media in general, I guess.
Yeah.
How many kids is too much when you're looking for a dating partner, dating prospect?
So how many kids is too much?
How many kids is too many kids?
For me, one can be too much if you're a bad parent. Like, and honestly, it depends on the kids too. You might just have, to be real, you might just
Depends on the kids too.
You might just have a little dickhead in the house.
That like look at you dead in your eyes and start stabbing the couch. Like looking at you.
Yeah, and then throw the knife down like, why you stabbed the couch?
Mom, your boyfriend stabbing the couch.
He's in here stabbing the couch like the last one.
Yeah, that's too many.
Yeah, that's too many. Half of them is too much.
That's too many.
Half of them too much.
Yo.
Yo.
Welcome back to the Lum LaL show. I'm your host, Lal.
And it's your boy, Pharaoh Lum.
And this is your weekly injection of introspection, man. And we was talking before we started recording about this topic. Lum, go ahead and introduce the topic. Oh, wait. Like and subscribe.
Please.
So, no, yeah, definitely hit the bell. Definitely hit the like button. Definitely hit the subscription button because we're going to come at you every week, multiple times a week. And if you're going to help us grow and if you're interested in that, that goes a long way.
Yeah, also follow us on everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you on Facebook, I know everybody know you. If you on Facebook, follow us. You on YouTube, follow us. You know what I mean? IG follow us.
Yes.
And our Discord, of course. If it's somewhere else, it's probably fake because those are the only social media, platforms that we have right now. So, holla.
You
know what I mean? Holla at us. But
what was we talking about?
We was just talking about the drastic decline in album sales in the past 20 years. Basically since
20 years?
I'm going to say 20 to 25. I'm going to say 20 to 25.
I think it's been
maybe
the
30
most
years.
wild in the last 10, though.
Yeah, the drop-off's been wild. Definitely, I feel like the drop-off started happening a lot more in the last 10, and maybe the numbers back then were still. But to me, it's just the fact that, like we were discussing before, I was telling you before we turned the camera. Well, we've been recording, you know what I'm saying, because Corey be on it. But before we, you know what I'm saying, officially started the show, it's like, I'm looking up older numbers of consistent bigger artists from the early 2000s. You know? And like I told you, T.I. did over, $500,000 about, I believe, 2 to 3 times. Ludacris did about 2 to 3 times. And each of those artists did 200,000, 300,000, a bunch of times. I think Luda had like 2-3 albums that were over 200,000. 2 that was over $500,000 or close. And, I feel like now I'm wondering what the reason, I know there's a lot of different reasons for it, but just wondering what the reason is for the drastic decline
I feel like I know.
in music sales.
I feel like I know the reason.
It's because like we're talking about, like, and just to give everybody an idea, because I know there's certain people on the surface level that will be like, what are you talking about? Like, for instance, all right, Travis Scott has probably what is going to be touted as the biggest album this year.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? He's close to $500,000 in the first week. He's probably going to be platinum before the year is done. You know what I mean? I listen to the album. We can talk about opinions or review later or somewhere else whenever everybody listens to it or whatever. But the point is, he did close to $500,000 the first week. Travis Scott sold T-shirts, bundles, concert tickets. They're counting the streams from the first week sales. And compared that to, first week sales of a T.I., I believe it was like one of those older albums, T.I. versus T.I.P. One of those albums, he probably did 230. I'm positive, without even looking, that he didn't sell. Well, maybe even if he did, Travis Scott's kind of a mulligan.
Bundles wasn't
but he
really
didn't. He didn't sell over
point.
300,000 solid units. You know what I mean? These dudes were selling 300,000, 200,000, 500,000 units when every person had to get up and go to the store and buy an album. So to me, I just wonder what exactly is the reason for the big decline. I realize the convenience in itself would be a reason for a big decline in sales because, people don't really have to go to the store anymore to buy albums. And obviously, one play is not equal to one album sale, 1,800 or equal to a stream, which makes the massive amount of people that have gone to streaming instead of buying albums count a lot less than they would have.
Right.
I know that's one of the reasons. But
well, no, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's a technicality. I think it's a flavor thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually watching some YouTube videos that touched on this topic inadvertently. It wasn't even really on purpose. But I was also just experiencing the information and cross-referencing it with my own experience.
Yeah.
And as a consumer and just, in life. And it's the flavor. Like,
Yeah.
these albums that were doing crazy numbers in an era where music, hip-hop, specifically hip-hop music, rap music, still had regional flavor. It was the last era of regional flavor, but it still had regional flavor.
And that's why you my nigga, because you went into the argument that I was kind of scared to have. I didn't want to be like, yo, these niggas is kind of butt. and like,
yo, these niggas is ass. That's why. These niggas is ass.
But it does have, to me, the quality of the music does have a lot to do with it.
It's a regional flavor. Like, there's a bit, because T.I., that's why I asked you this question earlier.
Yeah.
T.I. did $500,000.
Yeah.
Numerous times, 3 times.
Yeah.
50 did close to what? $1 million.
50 did close
almost
to $1 million.
like it was like 900.
And I believe
the first week.
I believe the following album did close to $500,000 too, even though nobody talk about that. But I'm pretty sure.
And that was considered his weak album.
Yeah, it was.
And it did $500,000.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure close between 300,000 and
not considered his weak album universally, but I mean people were just like people was like, it wasn't what you know what I mean? So the thing is 50, T.I., Luda, Nelly, all these people who did those crazy numbers, DMX, all of them represented regional flavor. 50 Cent was coming in a way, that nobody else was. Yeah. And so it was like, yo, this is exciting.
Yeah, he made me hate Ja Rule. I love Ja Rule. I used to listen to Ja Rule with my mom before 50 came in.
T.I. was the first rapper for me.
He ruined that shit.
He ruined Ja Rule for me.
I ruined it.
I love
T.I. was the first rapper for me who really made me appreciate, not the first song, but just the first overall artist who really made me appreciate very slow cadences.
Yes.
You get me?
Yes.
Like, I'm flying down 285, but I'm focused. It wasn't like he wasn't rapping. He was like chilling on the motherfucking track, but it was gangster and it was hard.
The first line I ever heard him say was, "I'm super cool, still threatening the game."
Yeah, and it was just
it's like, ooh, who the fuck is
regional flavor. He's giving you the southern drawl on purpose.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne. Yeah. Regional flavor. We wanted everyone out of that section of the world, Louisiana, to kind of feel like Lil Wayne. We didn't expect anybody else from anywhere else to sound like Lil Wayne.
Yeah, another dude with those cases of big numbers.
Oh, for sure. So, and even when we talk about West Coast rappers, regional flavor, West Coast music always, and even to this day, sounds different than everybody else's shit.
Yeah.
All right? Now, New York shit, to me, not to like pick on a region, but just saying like New York shit now, current New York shit is mainly drill.
It has got the most diluted out of all the
But the beats are not necessarily exclusive New York, right? We know that New York drill beats originated in the UK. We know that.
Yeah, the most New York sounding niggas in New York out of the past 5 or 6 years are from Buffalo.
Oh my God, them guys go hard.
You know what I mean?
I'm just being real.
But they represent regional flavor, though.
They have that sound of.
Part of the reason why we like Griselda is because of the flavor. It's like when I go out to eat. All right, put it like this. Let me give you an analogy. At one point in time, our great grandparents didn't have grocery stores.
Yeah.
People was booming and bunking, selling chicken, selling collard greens out their backyard, selling onions out their backyard.
No, facts.
Ginger,
my uncle told me back in the day in my
backyard.
hood. My uncle told me back in the day in my hood, for a quarter, you could get a chicken and a Reese cup that was this big.
Type shit.
For a quarter.
Homemade.
Whole chicken on a string.
Type shit. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because community was vibrant and glued together. People had a understanding of each other's goings-ons, and they had an investment in each other because the community was the economy. Now, niggas go to Walmart.
Yeah.
And when you go to Walmart, you expect what? Bullshit.
Yeah.
People acting crazy. You expect to see some wild shit in Walmart. Niggas get shot in Walmart.
That's a fact. Go to around Christmas, I'm positive.
You
seeing
expect to
somebody
see
get
people
arrested
stealing,
in the
people
toy section.
getting ran over. You expect
fact.
the people who work there not to know shit about the store.
Yeah, you don't even ask them.
So regional flavor, right?
They
When
be asking you and shit. Yeah, where the Owl City? Nigga, you got a Walmart shirt on.
no,
Why are you
like
asking
facts.
me where Owl City? Over
Facts.
there, nigga. Over
Facts.
there.
And the reason if you're unaware of why this makes sense to the conversation and topic we're talking about, let me bring it back to you. It makes sense because at one point in time, hip hop was that everybody got something different in their backyard.
Yeah.
Because niggas did have something different in their backyard. Right? The South had different flavors. Atlanta flavor was different from Texas flavor. New York flavor was different from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland was different from Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some beef there because there was some like, hey, y'all niggas sound like us.
The rapping fast.
Between Twista and Bone Thugs, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
Everybody had their own flavor. Now, in music, that's specifically hip hop, all rappers tend to sound exactly the same. They talk about the same shit in the same cadences over similar beats with auto-tune.
Yeah, they do.
And now niggas is even rapping in accents that they don't have. And so now it's like, you know what I mean?
That's some real shit though.
Like I dropped a song.
You know who we can blame for that though.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say it. You know who we can blame for that.
All right, we're gonna get to that.
That's
We're gonna get to that.
That's one
Quite a
man's
few.
fault.
We're gonna get to that.
I'm gonna blame one man.
I dropped a song a year and a half ago called Prime Red, and somebody hit me up and was like, "Yo, you such a Pittsburgh nigga," and I'm like, "What you mean?" And it was just like the way you saying your words on here, boom, boom, and I'm like, you know what, regional flavor. You know what I mean? Like when I'm approaching the song, I don't typically try to rap like anyone that I've heard before. I treat each song like I'm a psychiatrist and a new client is in my office.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I can't cookie cutter my solution. I need to listen to what the song is bringing to me and then give the song what it needs.
Yeah, you pull.
You know what I mean?
You pull from around you. I was talking to shout out to Vic. I was talking to Vic yesterday. I told him I was gonna bring this up, and I thought I found a moment, and I did. Like he was randomly talking. He was going on a rant about something. He's like, "Yeah, man, because them niggas got a vamoose," and I was sitting there like, "Vamoose?
Vamoose?
The fuck is?
Why you say that?
I think he meant vamoose, but he just preferred vamoose." And that shit was, I thought it was kind of fly though. I'm like, damn, vamoose. I'm like, I might have to throw that in the track. And he was like, you ain't gonna throw that. I said, I bet if I say that, niggas won't even fucking notice. Niggas might just think
No,
it's a
people
word.
say shit all the time.
But it's just about pulling from your region. You know
Pulling
what I mean?
from your area,
I'd rather pull and say
regional flavor.
vamoose. I'd rather be on the track saying vamoose than trying to rap like I'm from Atlanta. Because, I pulled that from right around me.
And
You know
so to like bring it all back home, album sales are down because people don't expect a lot from the music no more because it doesn't have regional flavor. Yeah. Like, let me say it like this. Coi Leray, right? Who I enjoy a lot of songs from. She only did 10K her first week, right? She from, you know where she from?
New York, right?
Nope.
Boston, yeah. Her dad from Boston, so I'm guessing she from Boston.
I think.
That's another thing too. I thought she was from Jersey.
She could. Well, I know her. I know Benzino's from Boston. I don't know.
I thought she was. No, I thought she
up.
grew up in Jersey. I'm pretty sure she grew up in Jersey.
It's a possibility.
Benzino spent a lot of time in New York and Jersey.
But wait, there's 2 points to that. Yeah. Number one, that's not happening 10 years ago, 15 years ago. We're not having someone who is displayed heavily in media as a rapper who we don't know where they hail from because of regional flavor. It's important. I need to know where you from.
That's some real shit.
Number one. The second point is whether she's from Boston, New York, or New Jersey, does she sound like she's from any of those places? Not accent, but musically. Because what does it even sound like to be from those places musically? Now, in 2023.
They ain't got no identity, really. You know
type shit.
Yeah,
and it's not because those places are just whack or something like that. It's just simple fact that hip hop music has amalgamated to this thing where it's a cookie cutter formula.
If you're from there, you're not coming out like, let me be on my Boston shit and just
type shit.
Unless you're what's the one? I think the one white dude who sound with Kiss from Boston. I ain't sure though. But dude kind of hard. But even him, he from New York. I can't really look at him and be like, he's a good rapper. But I can't look at him like, oh, where he from? I thought he was from New York. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think he said he from Boston. The nigga Millsy. The one white dude who be rapping, the Jada Kiss be running around, but you're right. They don't really have that. I feel like that regional flavor is definitely a big
Regional
key.
flavor is
I
lacking,
feel like
bro.
it's crazy. The first display of
It's still there, but it's lacking.
I would say the first display I seen of completely trying to blend right in front of people two versions of major regional flavor was like the exact same time I discovered an artist from the TV, and that was ASAP Rocky. That was the last time that I
there was ASAP Rocky. I feel like is a milestone in this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say did. I'm just going to say he was accused heavily of stealing his entire style musically from Space Ghost Perk.
Yeah, a lot of people.
You listen to Space Ghost Perk?
Yeah, I've heard Space Ghost Perk.
And so you got this New York dude who, whether he got his style from Space Ghost Perk or not, is saying out his own mouth, I got a Texas vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he comes out, everything's, chopped and screwed. He has the whole, and it's like a mix of, it was a complete amalgamation. It was so interesting to me because I'm looking at him, okay, this nigga from Harlem. And I'm seeing the bandanas and everybody moving. And then when the joints is coming on, it's giving me that, because, every rapper from Harlem, from New York are always on the more, I'm flyer than the rest of these niggas' side. You know what I mean? Like, you got your fucking Diddy's, your Camerons, your Maces. Just look at the list of niggas, Jim Jones. If you look at the list from the niggas from Harlem, they always think they're flyer than everybody. So I got that sense with ASAP because he was rocking certain shit. Like, whenever you rock something fashion-wise that's bold, and that a lot of niggas are going to be scared to put on, I feel like you're making a statement. And if it look hard, it look hard. He had some drip back in the day that was a little bit different too, the way he stood out style-wise. And I could see the heavy Houston influence. And I thought it was dope. I'm like, all right, well, he's inspired from. But I feel like that was kind of the peak of where that was the good version of where you lose regional. You know what I'm saying? When you lose your regional sound. That was the version where you not lose.
Yeah,
but that was the good version when you blend.
Else's.
Yeah,
right,
that was the version
blending.
where you blend your regional
and
sound.
it was very much so. Like, you think about ASAP and how he blew up, it was because it was a heavy emphasis on regional flavor.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't New York regional flavor, it was like, this is regional flavor. You know what I mean? It was intentional. That this is a flavor. This isn't just a style. This is someone's entire music culture that I'm blending with my entire music and visual culture. And it came together to make an artist. You know what I mean? Now it's just like I'm on a track, I'm rapping about having money, having bitches. And that's what niggas was doing back then still. Right. But now it's cookie cutter. Like, throw some auto-tune on it, rapping this cadence.
Yeah. Aim
to sound like Future or Young Thug. I feel like the staples is Future, Young Thug. I can't think of a third one. Like, it's like those are the staples for main people, like most people. Like for men that come out new rapping, it's like, oh, the other staple is Uzi. So it's like you gonna come out and you gonna go the Uzi route, the Future route, or the Thug route.
They want to go the easy. Blend them. Let's be real. They want to go the easy route, fam. They don't, because you know why? You know why they want to go the easy route? Because niggas don't listen to fucking Kendrick Lamar and Lupe Fiasco and Jadakiss and J. Cole and motherfuckers. Even other motherfuckers. Even niggas like Kevin Gates. Even niggas like T.I. People don't listen to them and be like, I can do that easily. If you're a rapper, if you're a real artist, you may listen to them like, you know what? I'm going to get in there and I'm going to write some shit. Whenever I listen to somebody, just the artist in me,
this
be
inspired
like,
me to go
you know what?
hard.
What is wrong with me? Who this nigga think he is? Sometimes I'll be listening to this shit. I'll be listening to this. I turn around. Who the fuck this nigga think? And then I just want to start writing some shit. These niggas hear that and run the other
that's
direction.
Wild, because every single time I'm at a concert,
direction.
The reason why I don't go to concerts that often, number one, I found them to be a waste of money most of the time. But number two is when I'm at the concert, I can't help but to start rapping to myself. It's every single time I'm at a concert, bro, and the music's coming. Less than halfway through, I'm rapping over everything. I'm not even hearing no more. Like, unless I'm super excited to see a motherfucker, I'm spitting. Like,
and to me, like, I'll be excited to see somebody. Me, I'll be looking at the show. I can't even enjoy a concert how somebody else enjoys a concert. Like, we opened up for Kevin Gates one time. I'm looking at this nigga's show, and I'm not even enjoying like everybody else. I'm looking at this show. I'm like, yo, this nigga been up there 45 minutes straight.
He controlled the stage.
We seen it.
It was a minute. It was a grip ago.
It was when rappers have the best shows.
2015.
It was when everybody in the nation, not even everybody. It's when the underground of everybody in the nation knows you, and when your shows are about 400 to 2,000 people at max. That is where you're going to see the fucking peak of these niggas perform. I promise you. Unless there's somebody who's completely dedicated to performance, that's where you're going to get that peak. We seen that nigga that night, and we was kind of mad because we opened up for him, and we had some shit not go our way in our show. And we had a lot of people who still fucked with it, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't nothing that out there they could have noticed, but we noticed it. So after the show, we on some shit. We're looking at people walking up to us like, yo, y'all killed it. We just like, yo, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, appreciate it.
Man, I left after the show. There was some wild shit that happened. I forgot exactly what happened. It was some shit with our DJ.
A bunch of shit. We had a,
did the DJ fold? Did he fold?
That was the night. Homie, I don't even want to say his name.
No. That happened, but did the DJ fold?
The DJ did fold.
He did fold.
He folded on the set, played something wrong. Yeah. But like after we got down, this nigga went up there, and that was my first time seeing him. I didn't know nothing about the nigga. He went up there, and he just controlled that shit from the offset. Just as soon as he came up on stage, he was like, "It's my first time, piss. It's my first time." Just scream, motherfuckers was in there. Like he had a good 1,000 motherfuckers in there rocking. And to me, that's where they're at the peak of their fucking shows. You know what I mean? When you're running around. I think what you were saying, Corey, has a lot to do with the subject too. I feel like the way, at least, I don't know if it's the reason behind the sales declining or just the reaction to it, but I do feel like these labels will be like, all right, we're gonna put this album out. It'll be the vehicle for the tour. The album will be the vehicle for this. Like with 360 deals and all the different things people got going on, it's like, yo, if we can just get this music, then maybe we can get him into merch and get a piece of that, and then get him into this and get a piece of that. And then I feel like a lot of times now the music is just the vehicle for a lot of stuff. And I feel like that's why we have a lot of microwave music, because before albums were everything. That was a lot of people's bread and butter. They were making a lot more money off albums because we were moving physical copies. So that affects the labels a lot more too. When you stop moving physical copies and the bottom line of that starts to change for the labels, I feel like you invest a lot more time in just making the music a vehicle for the shit that really comes in. I don't know what these niggas are, what labels are seeing from streams, and we will never know. I'm confident that I may die without positively knowing. Unless I get unless I end up getting a job somewhere that I'm not expecting at a label, like I'm probably not going to know. So I just feel like that bottom line being affected has a lot to do with it too, because when that bottom line gets affected, like Bilal mentioned earlier, that affects the promotion of the albums as well. So the marketing for these albums are not the same either. You know what I mean? Especially after you stop seeing the return, it's like it goes hand in hand, the chicken and the egg. Like, did the marketing drop off because they seen the sales falling, or did the sales fall because the marketing dropped off? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird to
But you know what, though? This is the thing, though. This is the thing. People blame marketing for things that isn't always marketing's fault.
Yeah.
And I say that because people tend to think of marketing as putting something in front of as many people as possible, or finding your target audience, right?
Yeah.
Which is true. But no matter how many times you put, no matter how many ingredients you slap on it, no matter how many times you change a Big Mac, I'm never buying a Big Mac. Mm-hmm. And so the thing about marketing, though, is that there's certain things that marketing can't remedy. And when I say that, like, there's this dude, I heard of this nigga for the first time the other day. This guy was talking about this. He was kind of talking about this topic on a YouTube. And I don't remember the guy's name or the channel, because it was really just playing. And I just tuned in real quick and I tuned out. But he was talking about how these major artists are having terrible album sales and not selling tickets, right? Yeah. Like Lil Baby canceled tours. Beyonce canceled a Pittsburgh tour. I don't think that had to do with ticket sales. I think it was more so something else, but it could have been ticket sales. We don't fucking know. But the thing is that he was like, yo, take this guy named NF. This white rapper named NF, bro. I never heard of this nigga.
You never heard of NF?
Yeah, I never heard of him, bro.
It's funny. I heard of him. I heard of him in passing.
I've never heard of him, but that's the thing. The world is full of people that you never heard of that's making easily $400, $500, or even $200,000 a year. We've
opened up for about 7 of those.
You know what I mean?
In between us,
I never
can run
heard
them off,
of this nigga
and they're all
before
getting
in my
money.
life.
And
then I turned on one of the video games I be fucking with, and don't you know the nigga's music was on there?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He getting to the money.
But that's the thing, though. I could ask. I know for a fact. Yeah. I know for a fact, based off of the target demographic of music they listen to, 90%, I'll say 70-90% of the children I work with, 16 to 19, never heard of him.
Don't know him. Don't know him.
But he is doing numbers in his own world.
Yeah, niggas be like, I don't know, who the fuck is in
that?
I'll be like, yeah, whatever, nigga, go play Madden.
Artists that he shouldn't be outselling. Yeah. And the thing about that is are we going to blame it on marketing? I mean, marketing has something to do with it.
Right,
Strategic marketing has something to do with it. Yeah. But I think the bigger deal is that he fills a hole. You know what I mean? He fills a niche that people really want some shit that feels raw and rugged and kind of like Eminem. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think
white?
that... Yeah, he's white.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I
Go
just want to say, never mind.
No, stop. Talk that shit, man. Talk that shit.
I just be saying, man, a lot of y'all white dudes be making a fucking killing off of being almost Eminem. Like, not quite, like,
damn, that's
like
true.
almost
but I feel
Eminem is.
I feel like
a lot of motherfuckers rich, boy. Cause not quite, but he's almost there. It's like, damn, like that's crazy to me.
So but I got another one.
Oh yeah, facts. But just to go and point out someone who's like doing that, you know what I mean? So I think though, like even you talk about the rise of Kendrick Lamar, man. I started listening to Kendrick Lamar like 2010.
I say all the time, you was the first
he
person
wasn't
in life to ever tell me. They even say the name Kendrick. I didn't know who the fuck Kendrick Lamar was till you called me in a fucking panic.
But he didn't bubble up. He didn't bubble up because of anything other than skill and talent and regional flavor. Yeah. His music is jam packed with regional flavor. Yeah. From funk to the content of what he's talking about. It's very LA specific.
Yeah. I feel like with the regional flavor and the want to craft your music though, it also comes from a place of actually wanting to put the work in and being a real artist.
Because you're an artist. But the thing is, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, you've never been the type to rush, bro. When you're not a real artist and you just want to be seen, you don't give a fuck what you make. You don't give a fuck how it sounds.
You trying to run it up. You trying to be lit. You trying to have this. You trying to be having this. You trying to have motion. You trying to do this. And I understand that. And that's why labels treat music the way they do. That's why they treat our music the way they do, is because if you are a business owner, it is always in your best benefit to have not full responsibility for doing tasks, but having full control over the business. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You don't want to be the person doing everything, but you want to be in control of what the fuck gets done. Yeah. And so for them, they like predictability. All business owners prefer predictability over wild cards. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, because predictability means I know what I can do and I know what needs to be done to do better, right? It's based off of a method of using logic to see what the future is going to look like. So with that being said, they prefer a bunch of cookie cutter. They prefer a bunch of shit that, you know, is not necessarily doing well at this moment, because people are starting to have the need for regional flavor. Like, it was 2 years ago, I think, when an article came out talking about how old music is being streamed at a higher rate than new music.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I just had come on? Like, well, most people don't know the sample from the song The Light with Common. Is the same nigga that made the song
I ain't gonna lie, that's my shit.
Fuck, man. Bobby Caldwell. What's the other song he made? The one that everybody thought he was black when it came out in the 70s.
Oh, there's a couple of them.
I
forgot to let you know
that one.
I got a thing for you, and I can't let go. That was my
him.
shit.
He's also the person being sampled in The Light. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the same nigga.
That white boy a legend, man.
That type shit.
He is a fucking legend.
That's my jam. Yeah, but I'm bringing him up because he's
on
my playlist.
That was a wild lucky guess.
Like, there's a couple.
That must be the most well-known song.
It is. Bro.
That was the first one that came to my mind. I forgot to let you.
But that's why people are remaking a bunch of shit. I heard a song the other day that was Candy. It was basically Candy Rain.
Okay.
It was Candy Rain, but it was new, updated, changed the lyrics, girl singing it, and it's just like, are you fucking serious? Like, or was it Candy Rain or was it Rain by SW? It might have been
either
Rain.
One. Leave both of those alone. Did you hear the NLE Chopper remix to Hot in Here?
We did it too.
Yeah, but did you hear the remix to Hot in Here though?
But
leave Hot in Here
We
alone.
did it in the 90s.
No. The 90s, hip hop started. Hip hop started by sampling, right?
Yeah.
But the difference between sampling and redoing a song that sample is crazy. Like, when you're sampling...
Diddy sampled every song he made. None of those songs sound anything like the original song.
That's the part.
None of them
except
do.
for maybe like...
Juicy kind of sound like Juicy, but Biggie's rapping on it, so it's like you get the sample.
The presentation,
but you're not redoing
the presentation of the lyrics is not the same.
NLE Chopper threw a fucking Band-Aid on his face and sat
seen
by a
that
pool
shit.
and did, listen,
seen
listen,
that
you
shit.
little motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was out when Hot in Here was out, nigga. I was outside.
Was the song hard? I didn't even hear it.
No.
Why would you do a remix of High?
No, I don't know why you want to do a remix of a 6-time platinum fucking. If you haven't been in the club when if he would have been in the club when Hot Hair was out,
Did you see Chance the Rapper's country version of Hot Hair?
Oh yeah, I seen
Hard
that
as
too.
fuck.
That was dope.
It was hard as fuck, bro. It was hard, bro. He did on a show, some show, bro.
You plug it in, you'll find it.
Oh,
It's
bro,
simple,
he
you'll
actually
find it.
killed it. It was country as hell, but it was Hot Hair.
Is Nelly the most
Facts.
underrated Southern rapper of all time?
Most underrated Southern rapper? No. I will stand on it.
Commercially, he's not.
I will
but,
stand
the
on
other
it to this day. The most underrated Southern rapper of all time to this day is Big Crit.
I knew you was
Come
gonna
on.
say that.
Let's go!
That was the first person that came to
Big
mind.
Crit! You already
Right.
fucking know.
That is your dog, bro.
You already know,
he
bro.
was my guy. I can't
Another
argue
rapper
that.
I've been
That's my
listening
guy.
to since like 2012,
I can't
bro.
That's my guy.
Big Crit,
Talk,
Big Crit
man.
is like my Southern Lupe Fiasco.
Come on, bro.
I do
Come
see him as like the
on,
Southern
bro.
Lupe, like-
Shout out to fucking Big. Hey, Big Crit
Shout out to Big Crit.
is a rapping ass
Rapping ass
motherfucker.
nigga. Shout
bro.
out to underrated good ass rappers that are just underrated, underseen.
Golly.
Shout out Saha the Prince.
See,
Like
I-
a lot
Oh.
of motherfuckers who just
That might be the most underrated Southern rapper of all time.
Saha the Prince.
Saha the Prince.
Crazy, bro.
Because he didn't pen some of the greatest hits that you never knew he wrote.
Yeah, I had a top 10 rapper, not debate, but list like in my house
Yeah.
just with my boys the other day, and they got mad because I didn't have a couple people in there, and my whole thing with them was like, yo, I'm not including people in my top 10 who are known to have 5 to 6 of the hardest motherfuckers in history in the room writing with them in hip hop. I can name a lot of those people as some of the greatest musicians of all time. But I feel like when we're talking about being an MC, I'm not even gonna say rappers. When we talk about top MCs all the time,
MC,
like if you talk just one example of somebody whose music I love, who I feel is like a hip hop icon, and I feel like the game would not be the same without, but who cannot be on my top 10. I can never put Kanye West in my top 10. When you're in a room with Common, Rhymefest, Consequence, 88 Keys, Travis Scott, you know what I mean? That is a fucking rapping all-star team, fam. When you have access to all these individuals, and I'm ranking you against somebody who, for all I know, done went in that motherfucker and penned everything that he ever written.
Well, I will
just need
say
another
a
section
lot
for
of
you.
the
You know what I
earlier
mean?
shit that Kanye came out with that made Kanye, he did pen a lot of that shit himself.
Yeah, but All Falls Down, he gave the 88 Keys out of his mouth. Jesus Walks, he gave the Rhymefest. So to me, it's like I know he penned a lot of it. Same with Drake. Am I confident Drake can write? I'm fucking super confident. I'd bet my life on it.
Yeah,
Like
you don't
that he
get-
can.
you don't get there
You don't get there
if
without
you
being
can't
able to
write a
But
crazy
I just feel
verse.
like
That's facts.
another person who is an ill writer in the past, who's penned some of the hardest verses, but in this day and age, sometimes has admitted to using writers every once in a while. Is Snoop. Does he need writers? No. Does he use them? Yes, now. But Snoop has done a lot in the beginning of his career where these people were coming up with writers. Snoop was penning all his shit. He was writing shit for other people. He didn't start using writers till he was almost a fucking senior citizen. And it's like, listen, nigga, I didn't get y'all 7 classic albums at this point. I've been here since the 80s. Fuck y'all. So Snoop is somebody who I always try to include in my list who I don't count. But to me, like, you know what I'm saying? For real. Like, and I feel like I hate to do it because I don't want to take away from anybody whose music I love. Kanye may have, listen, I named 10 niggas on that list, and I came to admit Kanye might have more songs than I love than all 10 of them motherfuckers on that list. And I love some of them artists more than him.
that part.
But to me, it's just like, yo, we talking about the artistry of penning, like, and I got serious. I'm like, yo, I've been in a studio, like, where if you have writer's block, nigga, the song ain't getting done, nigga.
For sure.
You get over it, the song ain't getting done. I've been in the studio with
Man.
this nigga and heard this nigga come up with some of the illest shit. I've never come to the studio with this nigga, see him at writer's block, and he's like, yeah, bro, this song, so he's finna finish that verse, and then we gonna go. I won't even look at him the same. This nigga being the rapper that he is made me want to be the type of artist that I am, because I know I can only come a certain type of way because of how he gonna come, not because of how his writer come. When I listen to these motherfuckers,
Writer comes
like,
crazy.
bro, yeah, pause.
Pause. But also, it's crazy
It's a
just to
crazy
think
fact.
about it.
Like,
Like,
you know how much it would have hurt me if I would have found out Jay-Z didn't write Pop's dad didn't cry, didn't know him that well, between him doing heroin and me doing crack sales. Put that in the age. That would have been like, oh yeah, my boy wrote that. It's just like, damn, nigga, that shit spoke to my fucking heart. Fuck you. I'm thinking that's like from your shit. So it's like we was talking about before.
But
If
that's-
you're a singer, it's different.
but again,
You know what I mean?
regional flavor. But again, rapping, hip hop is the only genre in today's world where it is assumed and almost it's assumed that you are the person creating the lyrics.
Yeah.
We don't assume that for anyone else.
Yeah. I feel like
We
that's
don't
what,
have to assume that. Because if
Yeah.
you're singing, then your talent is
Yeah.
is singing.
And I feel like that fact is what makes hip hop so special. So
Right.
so that's why I hate when
People-
these niggas try to take one artist and what they're doing. Because I don't care who the fuck you are. None of these niggas are bigger than hip hop. None of these niggas. I don't care if you sell 10 million records tomorrow. You, whoever the fuck, are not bigger than hip hop.
You know what? I gotta bring this up. I gotta bring this up. It's been bothering me for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What?
It's been bothering me for
Got
two.
you. Got you.
You know what I'm talking about. All right, I'll tell you.
What?
It's been bothering me for 2 weeks. I had a conversation outside of the studio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, please bring that. Please bring that up.
It was. Yo, I know the pod is getting good, but we have a message from our sponsors. Did you know that only half the adults with mental illness actually get treated?
Or the 2.5 million youth in the U.S. actually suffer from severe depression?
Our sponsors, the House of Wax, is raising awareness of mental disorders through knowledge, education, and music as a collective resource hub.
So let's normalize talks about mental health. To continue to raise awareness, for resources, visit the house at waxmentalhealth.org. And if you know someone in crisis, make sure you tell them to dial the crisis hotline at 988 because
You are not alone. Hurt my heart.
Please bring that.
I had a
up.
conversation
No,
outside of
bring
the
that up.
studio.
For sure.
My boy. And it bothers me. It bothered me for
happened?
weeks.
He about to
I'm about to
drop
get into
on
it.
you.
It bothered me for weeks, bro.
yeah.
2 weeks.
I ain't stopped
I gotta get it out.
thinking about
This is
shit. I ain't
therapy.
stopped
This is therapy. I gotta get it out. You know, we potted about the conversation about people using AI to recreate music from dead or alive rappers.
Yes.
It's a no. It's a fuck no. It's a hell no.
hell no.
It's a fuck you.
Yeah.
It's a, oh, he got stomped out. Well, he probably deserved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was having a conversation with someone that we both know. I'll tell you who it is later because I ain't into like putting nobody on blast because it's not beef or nothing. It's just I just felt like it was a wild take.
Yeah.
He felt deeply that he was in favor for AI versions of rappers and specifically alive rappers. He felt, and in his heart of hearts, that if he could just get some AI, he would make a bunch of music that sound like Future, and he wouldn't, and he didn't care if he got sued for it.
Snuff,
he
Fast
just
Free Band Gang.
He just felt like it was. He just felt like it's
A lot of
the
possibilities.
future of rap or future of music. He felt like the future of music was for people to make AI versions of. He was like, Kendrick be taking too long to drop. I wouldn't mind if somebody made a Kendrick AI version or album. I would listen to it. I would bang it, bro. I'm like, what?
He said that. He said
What?
That. He said that aloud.
Bro, I
With
got
confidence, too.
angry
He
and
said it with
I kept it
confidence.
together, Corey. I kept it together.
You did well.
I got
You did well.
mad, bro.
I was confused.
I got
didn't
mad,
know-
bro.
I didn't know
That's,
if he-
that's kind of wild.
I got upset, bro. And I said to him, well, whoever making AI versions of niggas that's alive, if he get popped, then he get fucking popped. Because you're not about to step on nobody's toes.
Yeah.
You're not about to step on nobody's toes and think that shit's sweet.
Bro.
You coming out with music that sound like mine? You couldn't sell a stamp bag that had a nigga's logo on it.
Bro.
You gonna make my music?
Bro, listen.
You're crazy.
We spoke about the early 2000s. Niggas were getting their heads stomped in for bootlegging songs. What do you
Bro,
think
that's what I'm saying.
niggas would have done to you for completely copying their likeness and making a fucking
You
audio
break into
Android
a
version
nigga's
of me?
you break into a nigga's Dropbox and drop his album early. They're gonna try to kill you.
Yeah.
You gonna make my album
No, a harder version.
or not
Or
Just
not,
a version.
but a version of it to a harder version to the people, and they're like, "Yo, I don't know if I'm about it. I might download the AI version. Yeah, I'm coming to get you,
Bro.
And I'm sadistic. I'm gonna be like, yo, what's up? I love what you doing, bro. You been helping me so. Can we meet?
Can we meet? Yo, bro, I gotta put
Yo,
you
can
on.
we meet? Yo, I gotta put
I'm
you-
trying
I
to
got
get
a
you in the
chain for you.
studio.
I'm putting you
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
It's chaining
Nigga.
day, Rockefeller. Come on, we gotta meet, bro. Let's get it. I love what you're doing. You working in the streets, so I love you.
You gonna come up there and feel like Pac trying to get his check from the studio.
Man, you gonna come up there and just fucking.
You gonna come up there and feel like Pac trying to get his check,
You gonna come up
boy.
there. You just gonna fall and see 90,000 Tims. I'm gonna have 90,000 Tims waiting for you.
Come
Mad
on,
trees
man.
in your forehead.
Because the thing about it is this. The thing about it is this, bro.
Swear to God, like that's crazy.
That's crazy, and I feel like it's not to rehash a topic that we've already discussed, but I do feel like it's a sickness because it's a parasitic way of being to feel like it's okay to recreate my art. Not recreate to create art. Act like me and pretend to be me.
It's a weird type of
that's fraud.
It's a weird type of fandom for art because it's almost just like, yo, I just need the art. Fuck the artist.
No,
that's real.
Yo, fuck the artist. I just need the art.
That's what they say.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's what they say.
That is what they're saying by making that point. It's fuck the artist. I need the art. I don't give a fuck. It's like basically, it's like what I said. It's like the point I made about Eminem. Do I feel like his music has suffered now that he's had better relationships with his mother, his baby mom, and he is now sober? Absolutely. Would I ever wish that man back to that place in his life for the sake of good art? No, I wouldn't. Because I appreciate the artist. And because of the times he gave me in my life and the way he was able to express his anger, it made me feel like I was okay to express my anger on the song and it wasn't that big of a fucking
You know what that feels
you know
like?
What I mean?
You know what that feels like? Like, it feels like, now pause, I might be going too far. But it really feels like imagine you got a girlfriend, right? You got a lady.
Yeah.
And she and there's this girl that's a lesbian, hardcore, butch type shorty that's hating on you. She trying to get your girl, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if your girl end up, sliding over with shorty, and she get like a mold of your man's that she do your shorty with.
Shit. Damn.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It feels like you gonna smash my girl with a fake version of my shit. I gotta get you. I gotta get you.
Oh shit.
I gotta get you. I gotta get you. You can't get away with that. I gotta get you.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's what AI music feel like, bro.
That's a violation of privacy.
You feel me?
And then she just looking at you. She gonna ask you a little question like, yeah, when you at the one angle, I be trying. I can't really move. Like, how do you be? No, get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. It feels like. Let's take another layer. I don't know how this man felt. I don't know how either of these men felt. But I'm sure it feels like Lil Wayne hearing that somebody's dropping a Carter 6. And the Carter 5 ain't even out yet.
That happened.
Real life.
That happened.
I'm sure it feels like that.
And Lil Wayne hates that nigga till this day. And that nigga till this day, which blows my fucking mind, will still get on interviews and be like, he don't like me. I don't know why he don't like me. I can't never tell you he don't want to speak. And every time I'm like, he had to go to court to stop you from fucking naming your shit the fucking Carter 6. And even after that, you named your shit the Barter 6. Then your best friend shot up his fucking tour bus. Don't like you. Nigga, it would have been on site with you for the rest of my fucking life. You lucky he just not shaking your hand. To me, it's just a weird quote.
That's what AI music feel like, y'all.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
So if you are in favor for doing something like that.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. When Young Thug first came out, he was trying to AI Lil Wayne bad.
He
He eventually turned into his own. To me, I'm gonna be real. Young Thug took what I would call the worst parts of Lil Wayne, which was
made it a career,
and made it into his own style.
Because
the prom queen Lil Wayne style. Yes,
I feel like dying Lil Wayne.
I feel like
dying Lil Wayne.
Prom
he
queen.
Made it a whole career.
It's not even just I feel like dying.
I feel
it's prom queen. It's autumn.
It's
we had it all figured out. All that shit. Like,
but Lil Wayne, he took that version. And he made it a career.
Because Wayne stepped in that pool for a second. And I honestly...
Yeah, but he was early to auto-tune, too. He ain't know how to use that shit.
Yeah, and to be honest, around when auto-tune came, that's when Wayne, publicly he said, it coincided with the heavy drug use. Like, I remember watching, when Prom Queen came out, that was some of Wayne's worst performances. I watched him on Spring Break. Yeah. He was singing Prom Queen, and then for like a minute straight, he just sat like this, not playing the guitar. when the music was playing. The band was playing. He just did this for like a minute on fucking spring break. Like, if you look up Spring Bling, Prom Queen, Lil Wayne,
Oh, this
you will
is sad.
see the wildest performance you ever seen. I love
This
Wayne,
is sad.
but that's when I realized, like, okay, cool. And that's why I say it's. But you know, he reached the point where he was fine. He reached the point where he was fucking Superman with that fucking double cup. You know what I mean? Walking
Yeah,
up in
sure.
his-
Question, man. 'Cause y'all hitting on the AI. How many? I know there's cats out there, Chat GPT and whatever they verses, man. Like
They
Chat
shorties,
GPT
they everything.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm
they
saying?
verses. Like there's people out there.
Oh,
who
that's
think
crazy.
Sound like something, or they got a style, and it's been AI'd up.
That's
You know,
crazy.
I know it's out there.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's
I wrote
out
my
there
wife a
because
poem on that once.
I'm sure
Loved it.
I'm sure it's out there because
It was
that's
amazing.
hilarious.
It was amazing.
That's hilarious.
It was amazing. Of a fraud.
No, I feel like that is wild.
It is amazing. That was.
He said I wrote my shorty
Yo,
a poem.
I'd be
on
mad if
my
I
wife.
was just trying to write a verse. I'm gonna battle Chat GPT later. I'm just gonna write a verse. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna write a verse on a subject. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna let y'all know how I went next part. I'm gonna write a verse on the subject. I'm gonna get me Chat GPT. I'm gonna have them write a verse on the subject. And if I lose, I'll let y'all know.
Pop your verse in there and tell them to rewrite it.
Well, this is the thing about Chat
That's
GPT.
how it works.
Fucking crazy.
This is the thing about Chat GPT, and I just feel that we spoke on this again. Convenience is the quickest way to die.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And the reason why I say that is like, well, I mean, I'm just like, okay, but you're killing your creative ability.
Yes.
Creativity is all about making the unseen thought manifest.
Yeah.
If you aren't even thinking, these ain't even your thoughts,
Yeah.
and you're not even. It's one thing if my boy give me a thought and I manifest it.
Yeah.
It's not even your thoughts, and you're not even manifesting it.
And to be honest,
You're
it's
just taking something a computer made because the computer. This is why ChatGPT is dangerous.
Yeah.
All right, check this out. Let me drop this point on you. You're stealing from AI because AI doesn't have self-governance.
Yeah.
What happens when AI gets self-governance?
And it gets tired of you stealing shit.
Right, you're still stealing.
Terminator 4.
You're just type shit. You're just stealing from something that doesn't have the ability to defend itself, and it's programmed to give you what you ask for.
And to be honest,
What happens when it stops giving you what you ask for?
I
That's
feel
why I
like
don't
it
fuck
takes
with AI.
it takes
Fuck
a
AI.
special type of creative to kind of create with like almost unlimited resources for real. I tell everybody all the time. I've seen it. Like lack of resources gives you the most burst of creativity you ever seen. If I give you 9,000 different colors to use, you might stare at them for an hour. If I give you 3,
That's what. Think about
You-
one of the
you
greatest
gonna
things
go
that ever
crazy,
happened
you know
in
what I'm
music.
saying?
One of the greatest things, undeniable, probably the greatest thing that ever happened in music, is an artist doing their own backgrounds. And you know why artists do their own backgrounds? Lack of a resource.
Yeah.
Back in the day, artists was like, "Well, I ain't got singers.
Yeah.
I Gladys. I'm a Gladys, but I ain't got the pips."
Yeah.
Right, so I'm gonna have to do this. Y'all gonna have to track me in. I'm gonna have to do my own
Yeah.
back. Marvin
Yeah.
Gaye did his own backgrounds, and he's a fucking legend for it.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
that was something that came out of a mix of creativity, but also just
Lack of
not
resources.
having the resources to
it
have other
forces
people
you
do
to
it.
get creative.
There's
yeah.
a saying that says necessity is the catalyst of all creativity. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe
Or
it is.
something of that nature?
It is something like, and
You
that's
know-
that's really where I got that sentiment
Yeah.
from. Because like
Yeah.
I've seen it, like when you have that abundance of resources and you sitting around in a big room, like, damn, what did I do? What should I do? Some of the most creative things you'll ever see is when people are forced to be creative, creative to survive, creative to thrive, creative to make money. When you go to jails and shit, and you go to disemboweled
Oh, they get
countries and shit,
creative, bro.
you see some creative.
They'll make you a fucking
ass
chili
shit.
cheese dog in that bitch
Nigga,
Oh, yeah.
creative
out
ass
of
shit.
nothing. Like
I be watching chef videos, but
I
they
seen
be
a
locked
dude.
up. You know what I'm saying?
I seen a dude with a
real
with a-
interesting.
I seen a dude with a candy store. He was in there. First of all, he was getting brand new Jolly Ranchers. He was melting them down, using steam from a pot. He was putting toothpicks in them and then freezing them, and making them lollipops. Nigga was making fucking homemade peanut butter cookies in there. He just had peanut butter, baking powder, mixing shit up, and then he was literally using open flames to cook all this shit. He's like, look, he had snapped the flame on, little metal plant on top of the flame. That's a lack of resources. I'm in this box.
Going crazy.
I don't got shit to do. How am I gonna make some? How am I gonna thrive in here? I'm gonna melt these Jolly Ranchers down and put a
mean,
toothpick in there.
You know, even editing this podcast, right? There's AI that I could use to edit this. I refuse to let it take my joy though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing.
Like,
Like,
that's the joy. It's not
artists
the struggle
get
is the joy.
The struggle
get
is the joy. When
from
you're there,
doing their
it's not
art.
fun being in the studio with this nigga hearing the hardest thing I ever heard in my life and not being like, all right, well, you gotta get in. You gotta fucking. You gotta come. You better come hard. Pause, nigga.
Right.
You better show up because at the end of the day, if you don't show up, you're gonna look crazy and you can't be the lacking on. You can't be the weak link on the song because we don't have no weak links on our songs.
I mean,
But, you know what I'm saying?
everything is trying to get us not to think. They're
Yes.
trying to think for us.
Yes.
So what is our brain good for after that, right? 'Cause
That's what I'm saying, bro.
like-
Convenience will kill you.
Yeah.
Your brain, your neurons only fire when you're thinking and learning.
Yeah.
Right? Babies that get minimal stimuli while they're developing have developmental issues. When their parents aren't talking to them, when they're not playing games with them that are thinking games and having them look at patterns and colors, when they're not asking them, what's this? Where does this go? When they don't get that, they have developmental issues. Our plasticity changes over time, but your brain can always stay plastic if you work on it, which means that it can always remediate if you don't. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
You got to be thinking. You got to be doing what it is that you're good at. Whatever Erykah Badu said, people need to find what comes easiest to them and master it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I believe that for sure. But I also believe that if you're going to just allow AI, if your world is going to be using AI to create your art, many people might not. But I am definitely not going to consider you an artist. That's
Absolutely.
just me.
Let me take this time to apologize to my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're real talk. Yeah, I should put a little effort into that. You know
That's
what I'm
real
saying?
shit.
I feel bad now.
Damn.
Thanks, Lal. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
you think you put a little effort in that?
I should a little effort. I should have put a little
I
effort
thought you
into
threw a
that.
little effort in there. I was like, oh, damn.
No, effort.
Effort, yeah.
For some reason, I got an accent like I'm from New York. I'm not. I didn't stole their swag. It's
That's
like young
hilarious.
rappers out there. No, it's good.
No, man. We had other topics on here, bro.
We just be rolling. A lot of the times,
We just be rolling,
We get
man.
one topic, and from that topic, just branches. The topics just come.
Let me go a little lighthearted for a second. I got this from our online intern. Shout out to Brandy. She came up with some topics. She come up with topics every week.
Shout out to
And
Brandy.
she just ask questions, and she be like, "Yo, maybe I should," like, you know, boom, boom, boom. She said, and this is like a hot topic on social media in general, I guess.
Yeah.
How many kids is too much when you're looking for a dating partner, dating prospect?
So how many kids is too much?
How many kids is too many kids?
For me, one can be too much if you're a bad parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, it depends on the caliber of parent that you are, the caliber of how you handle your kids. To me, I would say 3 in general is where I'd be like, all right.
3 in general.
Three in general is where I'd be like,
I ain't gonna hold you. I have
man.
never interacted with a woman in that way that had children.
yeah, I've interacted with a couple, and they've been complete. That's why I say it varies because like the experience is like almost like night and day. Like I had one really long term relationship with somebody that had kids, you know, and I feel like. And honestly, it depends on the kids too. You might just have, to be real, you might just
It depends on the kids
you might,
too.
You might just have a little dickhead in the
that,
house. Let me be
that
real.
like look at you dead in your eyes and start stabbing the couch. Like looking at you.
Yeah,
Like,
and then throw the knife down like,
looking-
why you stabbed the couch?
Mom, your boyfriend stabbing the couch.
He's in here stabbing the
Like-
couch like the last one.
Yeah, that's too many.
Yeah, that's
too many.
That's too. Half of them is too much.
That's too many.
Half of them too much.
Facts.
But if you got 2 well-behaved kids and you on your shit, you know what I mean. It's not like because my whole thing is like I can speak on it. You know what I mean, just from being recently like out of a relationship with somebody. You know what I'm saying, kids. It's just like there's a lot more that goes into it than just the dating part. There's like the parenting part. There's the part of how you would want to raise kids, the type of decisions you want to make. Because eventually, you're going to be in that situation if it goes well. You want to consider them like your kids. You're going to try to think for their, you know what I mean, for their best. And a lot of times when you have somebody who's been raising kids by themselves and you're trying to bring another person in, it's not like, yo, I made kids with this person. I owe them that type of intel. Even when you trust somebody with your kids, it's hard to give them that type of input on a day-to-day. So I feel like I feel like 3 for me, if I'm just looking just perspective without getting deep into it, on the outside, 3. But honestly, to me, it depends on how she handles herself. Like 1's too much for me if you're not in an emotional position to, date while having it. That's another thing too. Some people really can't handle that. I've dated somebody who every time I was around, she just didn't pay any attention to her kid.
That part.
It would be the point of me arguing for the kid, like, yo, you're trying to, yo,
I couldn't even.
She's not, she need, and after a while,
I got a friend that's going through that right now.
I
got a friend that's going through that right now. They're kind of going through that right now.
Yeah.
And the person that they're going through it with don't really. They got their kid just doing any and everything, and it's not like the kid is but wild. It's just that they're not present. They're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
But they're around all the time, and they're just not doing that. So yeah, one could be too much. I've never dated anyone with children. If I did and forgot, that's wild.
Somebody gonna be like, oh yeah.
Oh, you never dated?
Put it in the comments.
You never dated me?
Comments, goddamn.
Lil Tyrone said, "Fuck you." Lil Tyrone, if you out there, say fuck this nigga.
No. I never dated nobody with children. And I never will. I mean, especially I'm in a situation now. I'm in a relationship now, and I feel like that I'm good. I don't feel like I will ever need to go back to dating.
Yeah, for sure. You play to win, baby.
Facts. But also, hypothetically speaking, if I had to, I still wouldn't look for someone. I still wouldn't be open to it. And the reason why for me is that I feel that I'm always trying to reduce the amount of things I'm actually responsible for, because I take things to heart, and it's hard for me to cut corners on things. Like when I get to doing something, I have to do it all the way. I got to. It's hard for me to cut corners on things. With that being said, I don't know how I can fit into a stepdad position. You know what I mean? Because it kind of feels like you have all these responsibilities, but you don't have the master key. It's like, yo, you got to do X, Y, Z, and Z, and Z. But yeah, every time you got to get into this door, you got to ask me for the key. Yeah. And it's like, I can't do that. Yeah. Also, I'm not going to do that.
Also, a big factor. Am I going to have to beat your baby dad's fucking ass?
That's another question. Facts. Like, where is your baby dad?
Yeah, like, true.
Where is
Am I going to have to beat his ass? Is he in the kid's life? That's a big factor.
And from what I've heard from people who have dated, there's two different stories. Women's story is different. Women who date men with kids tend to prefer the mom to be a good mom. Guys who date women with kids, I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard that low key is sometimes better if he's just not in the picture. And I feel like that's wild. I mean, I don't know how that feels.
I mean, to me, I don't know. To me, that's weird because, like, I've never wished, like I said, just from being around two kids that, I mean, for an extended amount of time like that, I've never wished for anybody's dad not to be in their life.
No, not that they wished it, but like, all right, for example, because you was in a situation with someone who had children, right?
Yeah.
So, but the dad wasn't very present, and you were in there, right?
Yes.
Now, take all of your experiences. Let all of your experiences like marinate in your mind for like 5 seconds, right? Now, imagine if you had to ask his permission for some of the shit that you did.
No, you asked his permission for some of the shit that I did. If it was with the kid, see, here's my thing. If you're taking care of your kid and you a present father, and I want to do something specifically by myself, I would hope that we have the type of relationship where I can just call you and be like, yo, ideally, because we're adults.
That's the thing. We'll hope. I don't know what it's going to be.
Yo, what's up? I plan on taking so-and-so to here. You know what I mean? Like I said, unfortunately, people wasn't there. I hadn't had the experience with either one of them that they were that present where I could call them and be like that. So, I don't say, and to me, that's why I say unfortunately, because it's not. It's about the kids at the end of the day. Well,
facts.
So I'm never going to be like, oh, fortunate for me, this nigga. No, it's never a fortunate thing with somebody's dad.
No. Facts.
And I know
I'm just saying, like people who did both, they were like, I guess it wasn't a great situation when for them specifically in that situation.
Yeah, it could because like it could be too much of that too. You can have somebody who's too involved. You can have somebody whose baby dad just got a key to the crib, and you're in there with your girl. He's coming in.
Or you can be teaching the kids like, yo, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, such and such, like, you shouldn't be eating them honey buns every morning. Yeah. And then the dad come back like, nigga, I buy my daughter honey buns every morning. That's how we bond on the way to school, nigga. You ain't about to tell my daughter she can't eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, goddamn, I'm just trying to make sure it's good.
And it's crazy that you brought that up.
Now we gotta get into it about fucking honey bun and shit.
But like, just to kind of bring that full circle, I know we gotta wrap up soon and just kind of end it on a big note. A personal milestone for me that has everything to do with this conversation, and it's crazy we got to this point. Like, for the first time in my entire life, I seen my stepdad and my dad have a conversation.
Oh, for real?
I can show you the picture. Like, it was
not a picture.
No, it was so crazy of a moment that, and it was just me, my brother, and my stepdad and my dad. It was so crazy of a moment that my homie, shout Vic. All right, Vic. I shouted you out twice. Vic said, I told Vic I was going to shout him out about the vomit moves. He said, damn, bro, you always shout me out about lame shit, bro. Tell me about some real shit. I'm like, all right. I'm going to shout Vic out for this because we're on the block. And this nigga, I went over there after we're having a conversation. It's me, my brother, his dad, you know what I'm saying, my stepdad, and then my dad. We're talking for a minute. And like I said, they've been at odds like my whole life. Never spoke, only looked at each other mean. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It was never nothing cool. But my nigga decided to take a picture because in his mind, he like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. It might have been weird, but it just seemed like one of those moments you just take a picture of. He was just right. I'm like, damn, he was right. It was one of those moments you take a picture of. But to me, that's why I'm like, I've also been the kid who grew up in the stepdad situation with a weird situation where feeling like that situation interfered with the relationship with my dad. So I just feel like no matter what type of situation you're getting in, if you're getting into a relationship, male or female, with somebody with kids, make sure that you're ready to get into a relationship with those children as well. The children are not a side piece. They're not some extra shit that you deal with. It's not like somebody's, you deal with the fact that somebody's a model. You deal with the fact that somebody likes playing bocce ball on the weekend, or that you deal with the fact that someone goes to church. You know what I mean? You don't deal with the fact that somebody has kids. So it's to me, it's about how many people do you feel like you have the ability and the availability to love. How many people do you have?
And you make that decision for
you know
yourself.
What I mean? You make that decision for yourself.
You said we was what time? We was on time.
About 5 minutes.
All right. We can touch one more of these things.
Yeah.
Get off the dating because we not one of them dating.
This ain't red pill, baby.
Yeah.
Y'all figure y'all relationships out by yourself.
Figure it
out.
No.
Get out there and try.
That's your fault. No. Should have been a whore. That's how they be coming. They be coming crazy. Pause.
Should have been a whore.
They be like, they be acting wild on the motherfucking podcast. Damn, there's a heavy one on here, but we ain't got. It's more than 5 minutes. More than 5 minutes.
Go ahead and take your time with it. Go with it, man.
Just dive into this real quick. A woman named Tara Rodaz, worked for the Pomona Fairplex Intake, a site where they're bringing in unaccompanied children across the border who are being snuck over, and they're being confiscated or should I say detained by ICE, right? She worked at one of those complexes, and she's a whistleblower. And she came out and said that these complexes have contracts. It's not on the low. They are 100% and fully functioning complexes to sell these children to unvetted American sponsors. Meaning
shit.
Tom and Joe are Kathy and Michael, who fucking have, a collective of $400,000 income a year, who live in fucking Orange County, can now get a Jose and a Marietta sent to them from a fucking intake complex that's ran by the American government.
Slanging kids.
They're buying children.
Slanging kids.
And slanging them.
They're slanging kids. They are human trafficking.
Yeah.
And out in the open, in broad daylight.
It's crazy.
That's wild as fuck.
This made another valid point of, I was having a whole point about just like the type of shit that Mexicans and Hispanics go through.
Tara Rodaz.
It's just crazy.
The whistleblower.
Like, homies. So to my dogs, we had a conversation. Shout out to Mario and all y'all. This is why. I'm just going to say that. This is why. Y'all niggas know what I'm talking about. This is why. This is why. We were talking about, we were having a conversation just about, like the relation of, basically it came down to who could say nigga and who can't. It was one of them conversations.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you're at.
And to me,
because if you're in LA, if you're in LA or the Bronx, good luck getting one of them little
Mexicans not the same.
Not even Mexican. One of the Bronx, they not. I mean, there's some Mexicans, but they mainly Puerto Rican, Dominican.
And that was
good luck getting one of them to not say nigga.
Yeah, and that was
good
the point,
luck.
That was the point I made. And the point I made, I'm like, yo, listen, bro, I feel what you're saying. I'm like, but you're from Pittsburgh, fam, where everything is white and black and a little bit Asian, with maybe one or two Puerto Ricans that you've met in your life.
A little bit of Asian.
If you go to the fucking Bronx, trying to explain to them why a Puerto Rican motherfucker shouldn't be able to say nigga, a Puerto Rican motherfucker with 45 black friends is gonna look at you
boy.
like you stupid. And the reason I be saying that is, you feel what I'm
don't,
saying?
Dog Fuji.
And as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, I said this before at a different. Me and him was at a seminar. Like, I made this point. Like, for me, for one, you know what I'm saying, I feel like we've completely taken control of the word nigga. I don't really see it as like something that belongs to white people, and I feel like we've let them dictate too many things for us in a long while. I approach like, to me, like, it's about the tone you use with everything. So the reason I bring it up is because, like, if you walk up to me like, yo, what's up, nigger? You know, I might stab you. I may punch you in your shit. But if you're a white dude or an off-race person, you're like, yo, what's up, my nigga? It may require me to apply some pressure. You know what I mean? But it has a little bit, you know what I'm saying? The pressure is going to be a little bit less than it would be if you throw the ER. You know what I mean? It's about your intention.
I don't care about the ER.
And to me, it's about, but the other side of that coin, I was saying, was it's also about, like you said, where you come from. It's about where you're at. It's about honestly what type of struggles you go through. And I was basically telling him, he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, yeah, they ain't good. I'm like, listen, bro, I don't think anybody's struggle at all is like the black struggle at all. But I identify with the fact that every job I go for,
well, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Like every job interview I go for, there's everybody's race, and then they ask you if you're Hispanic on the side.
Facts. But there is one group of people
for a reason.
There is one group of people in America who I can't say maybe always have, but there's one group of people in America who have it worse than black people and has had it worse than black people for decades.
Native American?
Yes, for sure.
Native Americans.
In reality, Native Americans actually get killed by cops more often than black people. And that sounds crazy because we hearing about a black person getting shot every fucking week.
They don't report, especially like a lot, because there's still a lot of little reservations and certainly they don't really report a lot of that, especially in a lot of them places.
Bro, they don't report nothing from the res. You ain't heard nothing from a reservation your entire life.
Never.
Exactly.
Ever. Like ever.
Girls missing, getting raped by police, all type of shit on reservations.
I don't even know where they at.
Yeah, but I definitely can identify with that story. It's basically I was saying out here, like, it's a real, bro. It's an attack. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I was trying to give him, that separation. He was like, why am I comfortable with somebody being in poverty with me who don't consider themselves to be Caucasian on the same level playing field with me saying the word nigga? Like, why do I don't care about that? Because shit like that's happening all the time. You feel what I'm saying? That shit's not happening to fucking, you know what I'm saying, little white kids. There's not little white kids being abducted and sold.
And let's be clear, the reason why
we have refugees from wars, we're about to bring 10,000 kids over here from Ukraine. You think any of them's getting sold off to American sponsors?
Yeah. Let's be clear though, we have damn, I forgot what the fuck I was about to say. We have a ban on specifically white people saying it for a reason, my boy. It's not because they don't struggle. It's because they perpetuated a system of degradation and demolishing everything that we stood for. I was just. So before we get out of here, we gotta get out of here. I'm gonna just drop a little gem. I was just, hey, pun intended, because I was just in the August Wilson archive at the Hillman Library at Pitt. Reading the production history about August Wilson's play Gem of the Ocean. Now he did 10 plays. Each play represents a decade from the early 1900s up until the beginning of the 2000s, right? And the first one in the series, not the first one he did, but the first one in the century cycle is what they call it. It's called Gem of the Ocean. And that one was talking about the depth of destruction that happened to us culturally. You know what I mean? That we're still and probably forever going to suffer from in this land as long as it's the American country. You know what I mean? But that's just a little tidbit before we got here. We gotta get out here with some heavy shit just because we gotta make y'all think. And this is your weekly injection of introspection.
Shout out my man on Shy, man.
I'm good.
This is a late one. Y'all don't even know.
I be appreciating these, man. I be needing these, bro. I be needing these.
Facts.
This is dope.
Definitely.
I'm your host, Bilal Ray.
And it's your boy, Pharaoh Lum.
This has been the Lum LaL Show, your weekly injection of introspection. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. If you enjoy something, let us know so we can give you more of that. And in the meantime, make sure you doing you and getting plenty of me time.
Please.
Holla.
Drink water and sleep good.
Y'all niggas wouldn't survive the 90s.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
for sure. Survive the 90s.